The Kenya's Airport Association has now joined the protest against the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport deal, which is now going to be bought by the Adani Group and the Kenyan government. Now, the Kenyan Airport Association is the latest to join this opposition. Previously, it has been the airport workers, the staff, the airport crew, and then the Kenyan Human Rights Commission, the Law Society of Kenya. All this has protested ever since the secretly signed agreement between Adani, the India's Adani Group, and Kenyan government led by William Ruto. This was exposed in July. Now, why these people, Kenyans in general, now are opposing this deal? First of all, because the government has processed it illegally, because this was supposed to be open for a bid for all others internationally and also locally, but the Kenyan government has secretly finalized this in a process that only took over 17 days of assessing the agreement or the offer that has been presented by the Adani Group of India. Also, at the same time, while there was another company of an Argentinian that also proposed an offer to lease the Jomo Kenyatta International, or to manage to run the Jomo Kenyatta Airport Group. Now, the Kenyans have been protesting this for the past 3 months. Nothing has been changed. It's still now this. Now the status of the group is the status between the Kenyan government and this Indian business mogul of the Adani Group is still owning. Although it did not start operation, still owning the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. If we ask what is the offer given by the Adani Group, is that it's, first of all, it's a lease for 30 years. And so the Adani Group said it's going to upgrade the airport in a cost that will cost $1.85 billion. And it's going to lease it for 30 years. Now, the term of the condition is that even after 30 years, to put it back, it will be under the terms of the Adani Group. It's no more by the Kenyan government. It will be the Adani Group that's going to put up the price with an equity of 18%, and that price will be defined only by the Adani Group. So whether the government will be able to get it back, this national airport or not, is something that's questionable. Now, why these workers the Kenyan airport staff are protesting? First of all, it is the secretly signed, make it very suspicious. Why to this group? And secondly, also workers are fearing that there will be a job cut, that they will lose their job, because if it was really transparent, then what is that the Kenyan government is fearing to put all this out for a public, if it is really benefiting the workers and the economy of Kenya as well? So that is something questionable, and this is what they want an answer. Now, what does this latest joining group of the protest, which is the Kenyan Airport Association, want from the Kenyan government, is that they want it to be the bid again open for others and be processed in a way that is transparent for the Kenyan public. As we all know, the William Ruto's government has been hit by protest ever since that they signed that deal with IMF, that financial bill of 2024. The Gen Z protest has been there for months. And now this will be another thing that will provoke again for the already ongoing opposition against the government. Now, just to give you a background of who is Adani, this Indian business mogul, is that I can give you a bit of a background. So Adani Group is an Indian multinational conglomerate, which is a headquarter in Ahmedabad. It's founded by Gautam Adani in 1988 as a commodity trading business. The group's business include a sea and airport management, electricity generation and transmission, mining, natural gas, food, weapons, and infrastructure. So companies listed under this group are Adani Enterprises, Adani Green Energy, Adani Ports and Seas, Adani Energy Solutions, Adani Total Gas, Adani Power, and others. So already there, the presence of Indians in as Indians in Kenya is quite significant. And to give you just a statistics, the Indians in Kenya, often known as Kenyan Asians, are citizens of Kenya and residents of Kenya with ancestral roots in the Indian subcontinent. What Indian subcontinent you call this? I mean, we all know how the Indians arrived in Kenya. It's because Kenya was under the British colony. It was a British colony, and the Britain was recruiting anywhere that they have a colony. They were bringing the Indians for infrastructure and whatever they have been doing, or they're looting. So they were recruiting Indians. There are so many research evidences that also Indians were recruited by the British, and that's how they were their presence in Kenya. But the thing is, after the British left or the colonialism ended in Kenya, those Indians still remained in Kenya, owning so much of the business in Kenya, quite really an amount. Now, according to the World Economic Forum, the population of Indians in Kenya, it's not updated, but just before the 2020, it accounted for 100,000, and they own, a lot of things in Kenya. We can actually list them out. Here is what they, let me just share that actually with you, because it's always good to bring you a presentation that is based on research. Okay, so here is the thing. The fields are here, as you can see, main industrial firms controlled by representatives of Kenyan Asian minorities. So these people, they are called Kenyan Asian, but they are Indian basically. So the fields of the business are food and drinks, building, construction, glass and mining sector, chemicals and related activities, energy, electric and electronic production, shoes and leather commodities, metal, paper and packaging, motor vehicles and accessories, pharmaceutical industries and medical equipment, plastic and rubber products, textile and related material, woodworks, wooden commodities and furniture. Now, in percentage, hardware business is totally 21% owned by Indians in Kenya. General business 19.5%, closed shops 16.7%, motor vehicle and spare parts automobiles 14.8%, almost 15%, bookshops and stationery shops 4.3%, pharmacy 3.3%, pastries, confectionery 2.4%, butcheries 1.8%, cinema, theater 1.4%, packaging 1.4%, information and communication technology accessories 1%, hairdressing salon 1. I mean, the list is long, but yeah, it's also gives us the diversity of the business that they are engaged in. Industrial insurance, brokerage, schools and business schools, each of them 0.5%, real estate, restaurant and hotel business 0.5%, internet, cyber cafes, transport 0.5%. Now total is, look, 90, oh my god, 91.9%. Non-industrial and commercial activities like liberal professions 8.1%. So these are the diversity or the areas that the business types they are engaged in Kenya. So it's not, I mean, they have influence. But the thing is that one other thing that we have to pay attention, that how the Indians were used in the British colony era, that they were like the middlemen, not really in a positive way, but they were favored by the colonizer, by the British. It's the same thing everywhere in Africa. They have the same contribution or the same role. We call it in Uganda, in most of East Africa, in Tanzania, in Kenya, in Uganda, in South Africa, in Mozambique, and other, Malawi, all these British colonized places in Africa. Like they were the middlemen favored by the British, but working against the Africans. And at the same time, now after the British left, now they are owning most of the economy in these countries. Now add up on all that percentage what the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport profit is bringing, and that being run this Indian business mogul, the Adani group. He's the second richest man in India. Second to the first one is the one who had just that lavish wedding, Ambani. I think his last name is Ambani. Now this one is Adani. So yeah, let us know in the comment section, what do you think of, first of all, the secretly signed agreement between the Kenyan government and the Adani group? Why in secret? Secondly, generally, India now trying to not only the Indians who are living in Kenya, in general, India as itself is stretching its arms, its influence in African countries. It sees itself as one of the competitors like China and Russia and the US. It wants to see also its presence, its influential presence in Africa, with trading and now in military, with different types of things. So let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this? Thank you very much again for tuning in. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give it a like if you find this informative enough, and share the video with others. Please support us through our PayPal account, which you can find it in the description section. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.